Imagine a young boy in a small Canadian town, bullied so often that he brought steak knives to school for self-defense. A boy who watched movies like First Blood so obsessively he mimicked every move of Sylvester Stallone, dreaming of a world beyond the walls of his troubled childhood. Fast forward a few years, and that same boy, Ryan Gosling, would not only be building kitchen tables with his own hands for iconic film roles, but would also become one of Hollywood's most enigmatic and celebrated actors. But Ryan's story isn't a typical rise to fame tale. He's not your average celebrity basking in the limelight. While others chased headlines and social media fame, Gosling quietly built a career rooted in depth, emotion, and often mystery. From heart-wrenching roles in indie dramas to magnetic performances in billion-dollar blockbusters, Gosling's journey is one of relentless transformation, emotionally raw, artistically daring, and deeply human. He has played a jazz-loving dreamer, a silent getaway driver, a replicant hunting loner, and even the most iconic doll of all, Ken. Yet behind all the glitz is a man who never let fame rewrite his core. A thoughtful partner, a dedicated father, and a quiet artist who once apprenticed with a real-life carpenter just to get into character. This isn't just a story about fame or fortune. It's about survival, artistry, pain, passion, and how a quiet kid from Ontario came to redefine masculinity, stardom, and success in the 21st century. This is everything you need to know about Ryan Gosling, the actor, the father, the businessman, the craftsman, and the legend. Humble beginnings in Canada. Ryan Thomas Gosling was born on November 12, 1980 in London, Ontario, Canada. He was the younger of two siblings in a working-class Mormon family. His mother, Donna, was a secretary who later became a teacher, and his father, Thomas, was a traveling salesman. Ryan's parents divorced when he was just 13, leaving him with emotional challenges that would later inform many of his intense performances. In school, Ryan struggled. He was diagnosed with ADHD and placed in a special education class, though he was never formally medicated. His classmates often bullied him, and Gosling's difficulty in fitting in led him to retreat into movies. His first inspiration came from action films like Rambo, and he would reenact entire scenes at home, often to the amusement and sometimes concern of his family. At the age of 12, Gosling auditioned for Disney's Mickey Mouse Club. To his surprise, he landed the gig and moved to Florida. There, he worked alongside future global superstars like Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and Christina Aguilera. Though Ryan only appeared on the show for 2 years, 1993 to 1995, it was a foundational experience. Yet, unlike his fellow Mouseketeers, Gosling didn't explode into pop superstardom. He took the scenic route.
The indie actor with a wild heart. Following his Disney stint, Gosling returned to Canada and began taking small TV roles. But his true breakthrough came in 2001 with the indie film The Believer, in which he played a Jewish neo-Nazi, a deeply controversial and emotionally exhausting role. It marked the beginning of Gosling's fearless approach to acting. He wasn't interested in popularity. He wanted to dig deep into humanity's darkest corners. He followed that with Murder by Numbers 2002, where he starred opposite Sandra Bullock. Their off-screen romance made headlines, but for Gosling, the focus remained firmly on his craft. Then came The Notebook in 2004, a romantic drama that would become a generational favorite. Paired with Rachel McAdams, Gosling delivered a performance so raw and heartfelt that it catapulted him into Hollywood's elite. Yet even then, he kept a low profile. No reality shows, no tabloid drama, just work, growth, and privacy. The method actor who built furniture. For The Notebook, Gosling didn't just play a carpenter, he became one. In preparation for the role of Noah Calhoun, he apprenticed with a Charleston-based cabinet maker for 2 months. His most famous creation? the kitchen table, seen in the film on which Noah and Ally famously consummate their relationship. Gosling built the table himself using special wood, fully immersing into the world of his character. He even helped build the Adirondack chairs seen in the film. In an interview with People, he confessed that he wasn't allowed to keep the table as it belonged to the craftsman he worked with, someone who had no idea what the table had witnessed on screen. This commitment to realism speaks volumes about Gosling's philosophy. He isn't just acting, he's becoming. He doesn't aim to entertain, he aims to transform. A star who avoids stardom. Despite being one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, Gosling has successfully kept his personal life away from the spotlight. He famously dated Sandra Bullock from 2002 to 2003, and later had a high-profile relationship with Rachel McAdams, his Notebook co-star. Their chemistry wasn't just on screen, fans were captivated by their off-screen romance. In 2011, Gosling began dating Eva Mendes, his co-star in The Place Beyond the Pines. The couple has 2 daughters and remains one of Hollywood's most private families. Unlike many celebrities, they've never paraded their relationship in public or used social media for validation. Mendes once stated in an interview, "Ryan is a dream partner, grounded, sensitive, and completely devoted to our family." For Gosling, fatherhood changed everything. He once said in an interview, "Being a dad is more important than any movie." That humility has endeared him to audiences even more.
Net worth, big paychecks, and business moves. As of 2024, Ryan Gosling's net worth is estimated at $70 million. His wealth is primarily from acting, but he also earns from investments and business ventures. Here's a breakdown of his major earnings. La La Land 2016, $8 million. Blade Runner 2049, $10 million. Barbie 2023, $12.5 million. The Gray Man 2022, $20 million, his highest payday. But acting isn't his only revenue stream. Gosling is the co-owner of Tagine, an upscale Moroccan restaurant in Beverly Hills. He partnered with chef Ben Benamir to create a cozy, romantic dining spot that reflects his artistic vision. Gosling wasn't just a financial backer, he personally helped design and renovate the interior, turning it into a passion project. According to Morocco World News, Gosling spent weeks sanding, painting, and even helping lay tiles, all to perfect the ambiance of Tagine. This hands-on approach is rare in celebrity-owned businesses and further reinforces his dedication to authenticity. Award-winning performances and career milestones. Gosling has been nominated for 3 Academy Awards, all for very different roles. Half Nelson, 2006, played a drug-addicted teacher in a gritty indie drama. La La Land, 2016, a jazz musician chasing dreams, combining musical talent and emotional depth. Barbie, 2023, a hilarious and strangely heartfelt performance as Ken, showcasing his comic genius. He's also starred in Drive, 2011, a quiet, haunting neo-noir thriller. Crazy Stupid Love, 2011, displayed perfect comedic timing. Blue Valentine, 2010, a devastatingly raw portrayal of a crumbling relationship. First Man, 2018, a reserved but intense depiction of Neil Armstrong. What sets Gosling apart is that he's never been typecast. He's romantic, he's violent, he's hilarious, he's brooding, and somehow always believable. Physicality and presence, more than just looks. At 6 feet tall, 183 centimeters, Gosling carries a strong physical presence on screen. But he rarely relies on just his appearance. His performances are grounded in body language, subtle expressions, and emotional silence. Whether it's the stillness of Drive, the chaos of The Big Short, or the vulnerability in Blue Valentine, Gosling proves that acting is as much about restraint as it is about expression. His body of work shows that masculinity doesn't have to be loud or aggressive. It can be soft, wounded, kind, and still powerful. The Craftsman's Code: Why Gosling is Different. Ryan Gosling treats acting like carpentry.
Measure twice, cut once, then sand every detail until it's smooth. This metaphor explains how he prepares for roles. For Blade Runner 2049, he studied artificial intelligence and the philosophy of identity. For The Nice Guys, he studied classic slapstick comedians. For First Man, he spent hours studying NASA footage and interviewed Armstrong's family. He doesn't just memorize lines, he builds characters from the inside out. What's next for Ryan Gosling? As of mid-2024, Gosling remains highly sought after. Rumors swirl about his next projects, a possible directorial debut, a limited series, or even another musical. His fans eagerly await each appearance because they know whether it's big or small, it will be authentic, layered, and unforgettable. The man who built his own myth. Ryan Gosling isn't just an actor, he's an artist, a partner, a father, a craftsman. He lives in a world where attention is currency, yet he remains purposefully private. In an age of overexposure, he lets his work speak for itself. He's not chasing trends. He's building legacy. And that's why Ryan Gosling isn't just a star, he's a story.